AI detects a breach and can start containing it in seconds. So why do we still need analysts in the SOC at 3 in the morning?
Hello, Sam. Hello, everyone. Well, I don't think detection was the problem ever. Just think of it like a fire alarm. The fire alarm goes off. The issue is, well, what happened? Is it a toaster issue? Is it a cigarette smoke? Or is it the whole floor on fire? So AI can detect, can do the initial detection, can fire up the alarm, but I don't think it can currently, at least in its current stage, it can't tell us how big or dangerous the fire is. It just tells us that there is a fire.
But the automation already contained the threat. Isn't the incident over then?
Not really, because one, you can't just depend on the automation to tell you that the incident is contained, because it could have seeped everywhere and you didn't know. Second, I think we're making an assumption that the system is viable to come back online completely, because part of the issue of automation or segmentation, like some of the AI tools, they would isolate the devices. Well, what if it isolates your Active Directory servers because something happened to them? Well, now your identity is down. So it's not as easy as that. Usually, I would say whenever there's an incident, there are three factors that we always have to look at. One, how big is it? Like, what's the blast area and what was impacted? The second is, what do we need to survive? Can we come back online? What should come back online first? If we have to give up something, what should we give up? You need to kind of know a little bit more about the business in order to do the right thing. You can't just automate that unless somehow you created those rules before with the business owners. And finally, how did they get in and how do I improve my security? AI currently does the detection and the fire alarm and maybe the isolation, but it's not going to tell you, hey, I think your architecture, your security architecture can benefit from a change. So why don't you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? That's an analyst role. And that's the delineation really at this stage between AI and security analysts.
So there was recently an incident that took you by surprise, you said. What happened there?
In this instance, what happened is a board member got their personal email compromised. This is not for us, one of the clients. And what happened is we had to activate an incident response, not because their system was impacted, but because of the risk that comes from a board member personal email being compromised. Because had they emailed the company, they would have definitely passed through and a lot of people would have clicked because they wouldn't have known that this is, their email was compromised. And probably this board member usually sends out emails through their personal account. So that was a high risk. And I think the recommendation moving forward is definitely for board members to have the corporate email versus a personal email. And I would say for the small and mid-sized business, definitely it's a great practice. It does cost more money, but I think the other options are terrible.
For the new services that are coming in, we're focusing on evidentiary issues. What is that?
Well, so in an incident that I was responding to, the agencies that we contacted wanted some real proof. They wanted us to follow chain of custody. They wanted real proof. They wanted an analyst to tell them what's happening. A simple log or AI log or anything like that isn't going to do any good. So now we're focused a lot on making sure that when an incident happens, the way the logs are collected, parsed, analyzed, even documented in an executive summary sort and a collection of evidence, etc., is done correctly, because otherwise what will happen is, one, you can't prosecute the case, or worse, that you end up being the negligent party, which means nobody's going to pay for it except you.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Usama, and thanks to those watching. We'll see you next time on Bits.